Alright guys, welcome back to another module, and today I want to talk about some basic element of the example program. So after you have downloaded my example program and imported to Eclipse, you can hover to your Project Explorer and expand the project. Alright, and then here you will see there are 4 files. Okay, so 2 .c files, 1 .h file, and 1 make file. Okay, and today I want to just mainly focus on .c and .h, and we'll talk about makefile later in this course. Alright, so a .c file is also called as a source file, which contains the source code. And when you hear the term source code, it just basically means the implementation of your program. Okay, and the .c file contains implementation, and implementation is simply just a collection of functions, so which contains the implementation of each function. So for example, this is a function called print hello world, and you will do certain actions, which is to print hello world. Okay, so here's another function that does different things. Okay, so C files contains functions and functions implementations. Okay, so when you can basically understand a C program is just a collection of functions calling each other. That's really what a C program is. Actually, it's what many programs are consist of. They are just a bunch of functions, and you just call each other. All right, and so that's a source file. And there's also a header file. Okay, so .h stands for a header file, and the header file does not contain too much of the implementation, but rather it contains prototype. It contains declaration of variables. Okay, so in here I have 2 function prototypes declared. It basically will tell the compiler how many functions are available to be used. So you are telling the compiler, I have 2 functions right here, and it takes a void. A void is a keyword that means nothing. Okay, so a function that takes no input and returns no output, and I have 2 of them, and these are their names. So you're telling compiler, okay, what do you have? You basically declare a function. Okay, you tell the compiler something exists over here in your project, and guess what their implementation is? Their implementation is in the myfuncs.c. Okay, so here it contains not just the name, not just the name and input and output. It also contains the implementation, and it is defined with the curly bracket right here. Right, so in the header it just contains the first line here that tells compiler what is to be expected to be found. Okay, so in addition to functions, normally in here we'll also put a variables declaration. Maybe you will put structure declaration or some macro declarations. So all these are telling the compiler what's available. Okay, and then you will go to your C program, C file, to implement what you say is available, such that the whole program can run together. All right. And lastly, we have another C file, which is again another source file containing another function, and this is actually a special function called main, and we'll talk about that later in this course. Okay.